My name's Fiona Ellingham. I'm the Marketing Manager at TC Facilities Management. We do a range of different services, which includes things like cleaning, catering, security, specialist cleaning services, and we do that in a variety of different sectors. So predominantly we're in the retail sector, so we provide cleaning amongst other services for Tesco, for Morrisons, and we currently employ 7,000 employees at around about 5,500 sites across the country. Put simply, there were two key problems that we were facing back in 2014. And those were around the help desk function, where the team of around about 5 or 6 individuals who man that service were using a server-based access database, which could take up to 5 minutes to open one record for one individual. And as you can probably appreciate, that really meant that they were having to write down all the details on pen and paper and then input it into the access database, and really meant that the whole process was very cumbersome and time consuming. Alongside that, our sales process and managing our sales process was really very, very limited. Although we had a system, we weren't really utilising it to the fore. And because I'd had previous experience of doing an implementation with Workbooks at a previous business, I really did feel that there were ways in which we could improve things going forward. Workbooks was the only supplier who really wanted to understand the specific requirements that we had, but more than actually just understanding them, they were willing to have a pre-sales consultant come into the business, understand the particular problems that we were trying to address, put together, in effect, sort of like a mini demo system, so that specifically for the help desk team, they were able to see how the system would work in a day-to-day scenario. And actually, through the conversations that the Workbooks pre-sales consultant had with our customer services manager, it was very much that she just was really able to have that confidence level of knowing and having that peace of mind that the system was going to be able to deliver what we needed. For the help desk function, it was very much about being able to capture the help desk queries that were coming in and being able to manage those effectively moving forward. I would say that categorically that objective most definitely has been achieved. I know that the day after the training, every single one of the help desk function came to myself in particular and just thanked me for actually having implemented the system, because they could see straight away that it was going to be far less time consuming and really be able to give them the tools to be able to deliver their job and their function efficiently. They know that the Workbook system is just so easy and straightforward. They enter the case while the customer is on the phone. So it means that they are able to call up the record, they can update the record, do any follow-up actions, send the emails to the relevant operations manager, job done. We do now have a process whereby we are reporting on, in particular, opportunities, so that we can then just see the pipeline more effectively. I would say that from a marketing perspective, again, there are two ways in which I use Workbooks. One is for lead generation, and the other is very much more in terms of the PR and the media. So on the lead generation side, because we have the Web Insights integration and we're utilising that module, that's just been absolutely phenomenal in being able to identify prospective leads and then sharing those prospective leads with our lead generation team for them to be able to then nurture and have really meaningful conversations, warm them up, to then get to a stage of them wanting to have a face-to-face conversation with one of our business development team, and then be able to see how that then transitions through the rest of the sales process. It helps me to really focus on specific sectors. So it really does help to inform what we do next. And then being able to also then see in terms of when there are appointments that are made with those leads, then really being able to understand, okay, so are there maybe marketing materials, so whether that be online content or case studies, actually helping to identify we need a case study in this particular sector because we know that these are the people that are looking on our website. So it actually then helps us to be able to develop the right type of case studies rather than just thinking, well, let's do this because that would be a nice thing to do. So it really does inform the decisions that we're making. I know that for me, being responsible for all the marketing, I know that I could not do my job without Workbooks. And I haven't got to be sort of keeping all these balls or plates, spinning, because I know that the data is in Workbooks and that I've done the reports already, and so the reports are live, and come when I have to issue my monthly report out to the board, I know that the information is there on my dashboards, on my reporting, and it makes it just so much easier. We're actually in a very exciting place at the moment because the board have recently appointed a client services director. And we're really wanting to be able to better manage and understand how we can really engage with all of our accounts. So part of that, and being able to understand that, is making sure that we have the right data available. And really that's where CRM comes into its own. So we're now at the stage of really starting to map out, really from that sort of cradle to grave approach in terms of, well, what information do we need? How do we want to be interacting with these individuals? Are there particular parameters that we want to assign to certain clients? So therefore develop an account management process. So maybe tiering our clients and making sure that the CRM system complements that and sits alongside that, so that actually it helps to direct the different activities that people across the business, so whether that be in the business development team or in the operations team or in the help desk team or in the marketing team or in payroll or in finance, can actually then really understand how we can then nurture those relationships moving forward. We know our business very, very well. Actually, one of the great strengths that Workbooks will bring, I believe, is the fact that they will help us to think out of the box and to actually not necessarily think that we're maybe thinking the process has to be like this, whereas actually because of the experience that you have, you're able to say, well, actually there's a different way which will be far more efficient, far more effective, could potentially save you time, but will actually lead to a much better result.